Hey guys, it's Daviana and welcome back to Daviana's Journey. Today I wanted to read to you guys a diary entry that I wrote at the beginning of this month. I've been called, I feel, by the Holy Spirit to speak on this because in this time that we're in, this hour that we're in, God is raising a lot of his children. I just wanted to, shed light on you guys that you're not alone. So without further ado, let's get right into it. To share some background on this, a couple months ago, I felt that God was calling me to live out of my car. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like that sometimes, A lot of things that God asks you to do doesn't make sense in our carnal minds. So at the time, I was battling with a lot of doubt, wasn't understanding. I was confused and I wasn't sure if the enemy was, messing with me because at the time I was just battling through a lot of spiritual warfare, which a lot of us go through on a daily basis, especially when we're speaking to people about God. During this time that I wrote this diary entry, I was in the midst of trying to figure out if that's what he was actually calling me to do and how I was going to do it. So September 3rd at 1 p.m. I wrote, "Dear Diary, today I received confirmation from God that I'm not supposed to be with blank and that the enemy is using people around me to keep me from my promised land. No more. I've seen it clear as day today. The enemy is trying to plant fear in me to stay planted in a place I don't belong. This is my Egypt and God is wanting to remove me. Monday I will use this day to get everything sorted out. Literally. My clothes, how I will sleep in my car, where I will be sleeping, etc. I'm not afraid. I never was. But the enemy was using people around me to plant doubt, worry, and fear into me. No more. It's time for me to claim what's mine and what God has for me. Blank is being used and I need to get away from people that can be used by evil. I wanted to make sure God was talking to me, and now I know he is. From now on, I will watch what I tell people because who knows who can be used to try to hinder me. No more, I say, no more. I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me." In this time, I was talking to someone who I deemed as close to me and who I looked at as a mentor. And I told her about, what I've been going through with the prosecution and just the false witnesses and people literally lying on me and diminishing my character and my name. And I told her who I was staying with at the time and how they was easily accessed by that person who prosecuted me. When I told her that, she told me that I should talk to the person that I'm staying with and let them know how I feel about it, my feelings, before I just pick up and move, because I was just going to go. I wasn't going to shake or ruffle any feathers. I was just going to remove myself from the situation. And so before I did this, I wanted to talk to somebody about it because also in this time, I was dealing with isolation and I really didn't have any close friends to go to. So, I was like, okay, maybe I should talk to someone about this, and I did. And that's the advice that she gave me. So when I talked to the person that I was staying with about it, they responded to me with things like, that's stupid, like a dumb decision. Why are you doing that? What? And I didn't tell them like, oh, God told me to, because I feel like that's no one's business. I don't ever want to review what God has told me. People can call you crazy and all type of stuff, which I don't care about. I shouldn't even review. I should have did what I said I was going to do in the first place and not even review what I was planning on doing. But listening to other people, and I'm not upset with myself for doing that. So anyone who is battling with people in their ear, know you're not alone. You have to first become a fool before you can become a wise man. I go on to say, I need to watch what I tell people. And I said this because me telling her that her already, just because of what she heard from a carnal mind. You're not going to understand like why someone will go to these extents, especially when they have somewhere to stay, when they're not being kicked out, where they can choose to live in comfort. And God was telling me the exact opposite. Today I saw just how she is being used. She used me, then rejects me. She has narcissist ways that are selfish and manipulative. My spirit doesn't want to be around her, and that's why I stay upstairs and barely commune around her in any way. She tries to push me away from God with examples of her making me turn off my gospel music, walking in, interrupting my prayer, disrespecting the Sabbath day by trying to get me to eat or buy things for her, or preventing me from resting. Then uses manipulation to try to make me do things I don't want to do, using my kindness and laughs about it. It's sick, but I forgive her and I thank her for showing me her true colors. So before I read on, before this day, this person that I was staying with, I guess you can say I idolized them unintentionally, because I held them at such high regards. So when God revealed to me these certain aspects of this person, it hurt me, because I'm like, wow, I never knew it. How could she, be this way towards me, And with the examples of her making me turn off my gospel music, interrupting my prayers, disrespecting the Sabbath day by making me buy things. On the Sabbath day, you're not supposed to, first of all, be doing any work of any kind. You're not supposed to be eating. And I'm not going to say you're not supposed to be eating, but you're not supposed to be buying anything. But on the Sabbath day, I chose not to eat. And she was always trying to push food on me. So to me, that's disrespecting my Sabbath day. I pray for her all the time and I still love her. But it's best for me to love these type of people from a distance, because I cannot choose her over God. God says that if you love your mother, brother, sister, or anyone above me, you are not worthy for me and worthy of me. And I don't love anyone more than God. I'm sorry. I just don't. All my life, I thought she was a saint and a good person, but she is used by demons. Thank God for showing me. Next time I know what I will do when I say no. That's why I can no longer be here. Because when God spoke to me and told me to leave, I didn't hear him all the way. Now he's letting her hurt me to make his point. And God will do that. Like, so seriously. God will, when he tells you something and you're not getting, when you hear him but you're not listening, he will allow people to hurt you. He will place you in certain places or certain moments to either see what he's been trying to show you, or allow them to hurt you in a way that makes you want to reject them, make you want to be away from them. And that's the moment I was in. And I'm not going to go into detail on the specific moment, because first of all, I didn't even write about all of that, because it's just, but I wanted to write about the overall, not for the purpose of sharing it, because certain things just doesn't need to be written down. Certain things just doesn't need to be taking up space in your mind. Yes, I remember. Yes, I know. Yes, God showed me. But does all the details actually matter versus the results, versus what I got from it, versus what I learned? No. Let's continue. It's time to go. I can't wait for the day I hear him and know with all my heart it's him, and save myself a lot of hassle. For now, I will forgive, understand, and be thankful. For now, I will forgive, understand, and be thankful. And then that's all I wrote. But I wanted to share with you guys some verses, because I wanted you guys to understand my thoughts and truly get, for those who don't read the Bible, or for those who reads the Bible but maybe forgot what I mean by the promised land. Let me make it clear for you. In Genesis chapter 12 verse 1, the Lord has said to Abram, leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. The Lord came to Abram. He had things already. He had wealth, he had family, he had land already. but God wanted to give him and his descendants their own land. He wanted to set him apart and make an example out of him, make God's light shine through him. And I feel so strongly that that's what he's doing for me, because I've depended on a lot of people, and it's within this year so much things has happened, and I'm gonna go into further detail about everything in a later day, but today isn't that day. So Hebrews chapter 11, 8 through 10. By faith Abram obeyed when he was called to go out to the place which he would receive as an inheritance. And he went out, not knowing where he was going. By faith he dwelt in the land of promises, as in a foreign country, dwelling in tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he waited for the city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Nothing in life is new. Things in the Bible can be applied to our life because we're living out the same days. Every creation was a reoccurring thought or remembrance of another. Let's be honest, there's so many things that we know worldly that has happened before, but in a different way. And with Abraham, because by this time God changed his name to Abraham, him obeying God took faith. Him not knowing where he was going, dwelling in a land that's foreign and waiting for God, that takes strong faith and obedience. And I want you guys to understand, that's the part of my faith that I'm at, where God can tell me to quit my job, the place I'm at right now, and I'm gone. I'm gone. Okay, bye. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. That's just where I am in my faith, because God has already done so much for me, and I know I've read the Bible. I've read the truth. I'm not even all the way done, but I've read even some of the truth. And I know that living word is going to manifest in my life. All the promises that's in that Bible is for me. It's for you. It's for everyone that bears their cross, follows God's commandments, and love him with their whole heart. Love him with their whole heart. Psalms 27:14. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. That's all I'm doing. That's all of y'all should be doing. Don't try to go out here and make things for yourself, because it's going to fail. Everything the Lord gives you is built on the rock. Everything you try to make for yourself is built on sand, and it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble. I believe that God took me out of where I was, to put me in a place where I understand his power fully, where I can start over fresh and anew. He can make me into a new person and really mold this clay. I'm the clay. And I feel like that's what he's doing with me. He's really been changing me from the inside out. Like, y'all just don't understand. I got another verse for y'all. I can never say this word. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. God already went before all of us, planned out our steps, planned out our life to make sure we know what we're here to do. He will tell us everything we need to know. We don't need to go plan nothing. We don't need to try to figure anything out. Everything is already laid out for us. And I feel that way about what I'm doing here. He already went before me and cleared out anything that could go wrong, anything that can hinder his doing in my life. It's already clear. We've read so many times when they was coming out of Egypt, how the Lord had to go before them where he was sending him. He had to go before them and clear the path for for them, clear the way for the Israelites, and make sure that they could travel upon safe land, safe waters. Moses was able to part the Red Sea. That was the doings of the Lord, not the doings of Moses. That was the Lord working through Moses to show his people just what his power is and what he can do. Okay, I got one more verse. Psalms 27:1. The Lord is my light, my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Why should I be afraid? And even now, even in the midst of it, it's September, and people keep telling me like, oh, you're going to be cold. You know, it's going to get cold. You live in a city where everything is, you know, flip-floppy. You never know what's going to happen. It's going to snow tomorrow. And you don't know, what do you have planned for when that happens? Nothing. Do you know why? Because God already planned it. I don't know how many times it's getting to a point where I don't even be caring what these people say. I just be like, you right. I hope you are able to be warm, because I will. Like, I'm not worried. It's nothing to worry about. Why should I be afraid of the cold? Why should I be afraid of anything when I have God? What's that gonna do for me? That ain't nothing but the enemy. All he wants to do is steal, kill, and destroy. Steal your joy, steal your purpose, steal your happiness, and destroy you in the spirit on out. Period. And I'm not gonna let it happen. It could be snowing tomorrow. I'm gonna be right in the back seat of that dang car in my sleeping bag, peaceful, reading my Bible, chilling. You heard me? Chilling. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Philippians 4:13, baby. People will be talking about where you gonna sleep at. It's dangerous out here and you just sleeping in your car. What if somebody trying to break in your car? What if? Okay? And what's gonna happen to them after they do it? Because I ain't gonna have to do nothing. God will plant a spirit in those people to make sure they change their mind or not even touch me or come near me before I even have to jump up, before I have to even come out my sleep, before they even touch my window. Honestly, guys, y'all, somebody just called my phone, and guess who it was? The person whose house I left, calling me, asking me to do something for them tomorrow. I will. One thing about it, enemy or not, and we know that people are our enemy if they don't follow God, if they don't have the Holy Spirit, if they're not dying to their flesh, if they're not committing to him wholeheartedly, that makes them our enemy. Enemy or not, God says, do for them, pray for them. That don't mean they have to have access to you. Anything extra besides kindness out of you. So I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it because God, just God. I hope y'all took something from this. I hope y'all learned something from this. I hope y'all understood some things. I hope y'all know that y'all not alone. As my old school used to say, with God, God goes with you. See y'all in the next video.